Hey, Minifish. It is the 8th of January, 2025. Do pray you're well. I came across this short clip, a speech that Sylvester Stallone, a.k.a. Rocky, made at Mar-a-Lago shortly after Trump's selection on 11/14. Now, I want to set the stage simply by the date that he made this little speech, 11/14, because if you go to 2 Corinthians 11, and we'll start at verse 13, "For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ." 11:14. "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light."
I am the chosen one.
I'm very, very proud to be here. I didn't expect this, but I'll just keep it short and sweet because there's no such a thing as a speech too short. When I did Rocky, if you remember, the first image was a picture of Jesus, and it says Resurrection AC Club. I found a church that had been converted to a boxing ring. So the image pans down from Jesus onto Rocky being hit. And at that moment, he was a chosen person, and that's how I began the journey. Something was going to happen. This man was going to go through a metamorphosis and change lives, just like President Trump. We are in the presence of a really mythical character. I love mythology. And this individual does not exist on this planet. Nobody in the world could have pulled off what he pulled off, so I'm in awe. And I'll just say this, and I mean it. When George Washington defended his country, he had no idea that he was going to change the world. Because without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations! But
So in under 2 minutes, club member Sly Stallone laid out their complete agenda and what they believe. So I'm going to go through this. We're not going to take too long. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty things, although there are many that just substantiate what I'm trying to relay to you here. They believe that this man is the second coming. Whether they know it or not, that is exactly what they're setting themselves and those who believe and follow this man. It's a trap.
I am the chosen one.
Donald John Trump is the chosen one, if you will, to be the antithesis of this deep state, so-called, to bring the synthesis. And I believe that upon this inauguration, this 60th inauguration, 60th oath, the 60th raising of Apollo, of Osiris, Nimrod, they're all synonymous, will bring forth tangible, observable, spiritual convergence. In other words, an overt piercing of the veil. And it may very well mark the kickoff of what the Bible calls tribulation. Let's take a look at this first scene of Rocky. The very first thing that you see in the movie is the date 11/25/1975. And as of 11/14, no marvel that it was 17,000. And if you understand Freemasonry and the value of the number 17, but it was exactly 17,888 days from November 25th, 1975 to 11/14/2024. So immediately we see those connections being made with the 888. Look at the back of the boxing ring underneath the image of Jesus. AC, Resurrection AC. To me, that says the resurrection of Antichrist, meaning the raising of Apollo. And who does Rocky fight in the first movie? It's Apollo Creed. Can you believe that? And what is a creed? Well, a creed is a guiding religious principle, okay? The MAGA doctrine. So we're seeing a depiction here of the gospel of Jesus, the Rock, versus the gospel of Donald Trump. And the creed, the Apollyon Creed. Do you see what I'm saying here?
We are in the presence of a really mythical character. I love mythology. And this individual does not exist on this planet. Nobody in the world could have pulled off what he pulled off, so I'm in awe.
So AC Club member Rocky thinks that Trump is a mythical character, not of this world. And he is in awe of him. And awe, by definition, is a feeling that describes a profound respect, wonder, or amazement. The whole world wondered after the beast.
And I'll just say this, and I mean it. When George Washington defended his country, he had no idea that he was going to change the world. Because without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations!
You know what? Sometimes what you leave out of a story is even more interesting than what you leave in. Robert Morris Jr., the financier of the American Revolution. Now, the caption said it was a shot of the Greek god Mercury handing a bag of loot to Robert Morris, the financier of the American Revolution. Well, it's just a tiny part of a much bigger picture called the apotheosis of Washington. Now, apotheosis is a Greek word that means to make divine. In other words, this painting shows George Washington becoming a god. But there it is for all to see, painted under the most famous dome in the whole country, maybe the whole world, the United States Capitol. Now, the most interesting part of this particular heaven are the folks that live in it. Now, you'd expect to see Moses and Abraham and Ezekiel and that crowd hanging around, but not a single fella from the Bible's up there. Now, Minerva, the Roman goddess of crafts and wisdom, is shown delivering an electrical generator and batteries and a printing press to Benjamin Franklin, Samuel Morse, and Robert Fulton. And Neptune, the Roman sea god, and Venus, the goddess of love, are showing helping to lay the transatlantic telegraph cable. I'll bet you they were a big help. Now, there's some other gods, but not a single prophet, apostle, or even a lower archangel in the whole 4,500 square feet.
Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations!
Congratulations, you've taken the bait. There are so many things that we could talk about here, like the oath that is taken at the inauguration of every president. And remember, this oath goes all the way back to Mount Hermon. That's what this is all about. Trump will have his second inaugural address. Washington's second took place in Philadelphia, the same city that the movie Rocky takes place in. And Philadelphia is mentioned in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, but their brotherly love is an inversion of the biblical Philadelphia, if you know what I mean. And George Washington, at his second inaugural address, it was the shortest ever of any presidential inauguration. He only used 135 words, but he focused mainly and directly on what is, of course, the key element of the inaugural ceremony is the oath. So I want you to just consider all these things and use discernment in all your decisions. But the most important thing is here is they are trying to usurp Jesus Christ, period. They are at war with the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's evident. So what does that tell you when the world is pushing you the other way? Stand on the rock, the unbreakable, unmovable rock, Jesus Christ. He truly is the only way, the only truth, and the only life everlasting. Trust in Him. God bless each and every one of you. Peace and grace to you. Many favors.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God,